Guys, welcome back to the shop and to part 2 of our stainless steel AEB-L blade that we are making. In the last video we got the blades ready to go into the kiln, pouched up in stainless steel foil, and right now I have the kiln heating up, and so let me go over there and I'll talk to you about what's going to happen. Now, in case you're not aware, if you ask 5 different knife makers how to heat treat a particular steel, you're probably going to get about 7 different answers. So at the end of the day, you have to do your own research and come to a conclusion on what works best for what you're doing in your shop. But I can give you a brief outline of what I am doing with these AEB-L stainless steel blades and a little bit about why. So the kiln's heating up right now, and the first thing that's going to happen is that we're going to bring these blades up to about 1560 degrees and hold them there for about 15 minutes. And this is going to give the components of the steel a chance to go into solution a little bit more before we bring it all the way up to the temperature they need to be for austenizing, or the temperature that they have to be at when we quench them. And that is going to be 1975 degrees. And at that point we will hold the temperature for a period of time and then quench them. Okay, after a while we're finally up to quenching temperature, so that after this steel soaks at this temperature, we can quench it. But that means I need to go ahead and get the dry ice slurry ready, so I'll show you how I do that. So when you're working with dry ice, you have to have something to put it in that's insulated, and the best thing that I've come up with is this PVC pipe. I believe it's a 4-inch pipe. It's got a cap on the bottom, and I put it down in this bucket with insulation, and it's got a block of foam insulation on the bottom as well. And then once I have it full of what I need to, I put another block of insulation of the heavy foam insulation on top. And this has worked better than anything else I've tried before. So now that I have the dry ice slurry started, I'm going to put more mineral spirits over it once we start putting knives in, but that's ready to go. And the reason for the mineral spirits actually lowers the temperature of the dry ice below what it would normally be. And the best way to explain this is, I don't know if you're familiar with the old-fashioned method of making ice cream. They would have basically a bucket with an outer compartment in which you put the ice, and you're familiar with that, and the rock salt that they would add to the ice, which melts the ice, but in the process it actually lowers the temperature below freezing. Now, I don't know really how this works, but that's the science behind it, and that gives us the temperature we need to do this sub-zero quench for this stainless steel. Checking to make sure it's straight. It's a little off. We still have that window of time, especially with this stuff. Very, very gooey for a little bit. So some guys like to clamp the blade in the aluminum plates, and that works fine too, but the main thing is equal heat transfer during whatever quench you use. I have the blades in the dry ice slurry for the second time following the first tempering cycle. This just helps warm the blades up. There's ice in between them, as you can see, just from sticking them in there originally. So it just speeds up the slow temperature climb. The subject of sub-zero or even cryogenic quenches is rather an interesting one. I mean, just the fact that steel on the microscopic molecular level moves so much and so many different things happen. It's very interesting. But it reminds me of, I read somewhere some time ago an article or a paper or something on Swedish steel, or was it Swiss steel? I don't remember now. I think it was Swiss steel. But the author conjectured or surmised, I don't remember which, that because of the very cold winters in regions, at least, of Switzerland, that was one of the reasons, if not a main reason, that Swiss steel for many centuries was considered some of the best in the world, and therefore suitable for fine machinery such as watches and that kind of thing, where you needed a very good grade of steel to get excellent long wear. And of course, it also made really good blades. So I found that to be really interesting, and I tell people about that sometimes. Without further ado, the next thing we need to do is go ahead and grind these blades, and that will be tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we got the blade ground, and I like how it turned out, going for a nice satin style finish on it. I got to do the spine yet, but the rest of it's ready to go. Well, there you have it, guys. The AEB-L stainless steel knife is ready to put a handle on it and do some finish work on the spine and tang after the handle is on. I just wanted to bring you guys along on this and show you a little bit of the differences when it comes to working with stainless steel specifically. So thanks for watching. Thanks for if you haven't seen part 1, go ahead and check that out too. So I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I'm gonna keep putting videos out, and hopefully you guys are getting something out of them. Doing a little better too. So I think I finally got past the bubonic plague or whatever it was. But thanks for watching. Have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe. Notifications button. All right, see you later.